you may notice you're seeing me from an entirely new angle. That's because I finally got myself a tripod. So today what I'm doing is distressing my shirt for the live action roleplay we have coming up this weekend. To do this, I have a tub and 2 days worth of coffee grounds. I'll probably also be using a knife, some scissors, I don't know, maybe a lighter, we'll see. But yeah, this is, I'm your sewing buddy. I'm here to talk at you while you do your own crafting, I do my crafting. We'll keep each other busy, keep us from getting bored and listening to those voices in our heads that say that we're not doing it right and we're not good enough and everything's going to turn into crap. But it always turns out great. You know that. I know that. So the first thing I'm going to do, which you can't see really, you know, let me make some adjustments. The first thing I'm going to do is get the shirt in here. The shirt is dry. That's so that it can soak up all those lovely coffee juices. I'm not going to use all of these grounds, but basically you're just gonna mush it all around in there. I could be tactical and say, oh, it's gonna be heavier around the collar. I might still do that. Ooh, focus. Focus! But mostly, these are actually still damp from this morning and still a little warm, and it feels really good on my hands. Just want to make it look like I've been rolling around in the dirt, because that's how my character do. And I should have put a mat down. I'm going to have to vacuum after, but we have a free carpet cleaning coming from our apartment owners anyway. And the cuffs I'm probably going to tear up pretty badly because my character is the more violent one, the one who will wrestle with her brother, who's going to be played by my husband. It's not our first brother-sister act, but the first one was a little bit more weird. It was before we knew anything about A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones, and we were playing elven twins who, you know, twincest is wincest. Never like anything overt, but definitely more cuddly and affectionate than most siblings should be. It's kind of funny, when we first showed up to game, no one really knew us, and people out of game asked us if we were actually twins, and I thought they were asking about in-game, so I was like, yeah, and then they made a face. Like, well, no, out of game we're married. So that was kind of a fun introduction to that group. You can see my hands are lovely brown. Although coffee scrubs are supposed to be a good exfoliant, so hopefully I'll have nice soft hands after this. Hit them with some moisturizer. So I put some heavy focus on the collar. You can see it is grubby. I'm trying to make sure I focus on the outside more than the inside. I am excited to be LARPing again, because I think, like I mentioned, it's been years. Like, we used to have a game almost every weekend, and then some of the games started playing less frequently. A couple of them shut down because of attendance. I might have to make more coffee later in the day so I have more grounds. But, yeah, we used to do it a lot. It's a great escapism. Keeps us in shape because we're actually out running in the woods, hitting people with foam swords and things. I'm not using a sword this weekend though. Probably little black boppers that are supposed to represent fists. Because of course you can't actually punch anyone in these games. That's taboo. It's not about actually killing your friends, it's about killing the characters that your friends are playing. Sometimes. Sometimes your characters are their friends, but sometimes they're playing monsters and you have to pretend to beat the crap out of them. I got some rough news yesterday that my store manager is getting promoted, so she's not going to be my store manager anymore. And it's super sad because she actually understands anxiety, like, okay, this is how I need to respond to Lauren if she's having a rough day. Like, she gets that. She knows, like, okay, let's have this talk at the end of the day instead of in the middle of the day. And oh, Lauren's got her tasking face on. I'm just gonna let her do her thing. It's, at work I am one of the ones who, like, okay, I'm not doing anything else. I'm going to straighten up shoes because they are a hot mess and I have the time to do it and it needs to be done. And then I get kind of annoyed if I get interrupted in that, because I do get into a specific mindset for putting everything back where it goes. Like, it's the same thing at home. If I'm cleaning, I'm cleaning. Like, I don't want to be talked to, I don't want to be cuddled or otherwise interrupted. Just let me do my thing. I really don't like cleaning, but I like the results of cleaning, so I have to kind of trick my brain into thinking about the results as opposed to the task at hand. It's a little bit meditative and a lot bit, let's just power through it and get it done. Getting some nice grubby stains on here. Should make it all the better for the tearing up process. The wonderful thing about this project is there is no way I can ruin it. I can only make it better. And I already did this to the skirt that you saw me making last week. But I do still need to put a waistband on that skirt. I got a little bit overzealous with the distressing and wanted to do that first and foremost. But even if the stains don't match up, that just means that the waistband had to be replaced, which it did. I still need to put patches and pockets on that too. And I may hit this with some cold water. Maybe after the grounds are all entirely dry, just to kind of reawaken the grounds that I have in here and diffuse all of that canary yellow. Sounding like a Bob Ross video. I'm gonna take some coffee brown to that canary yellow. I'm just gonna rub it in there. Can't make any mistakes. Only happy accidents with distressing a shirt. That's looking pretty good. A little bit more on the back collar. As always, I want to see comments of what you're making while we're talking together like this, what you want me to talk about next week. I can do research during the week, like, you're like, hey, I'm really curious about this thing and I want someone to talk at me about it. I will do some research and just ramble on about whatever. Like, I mean, I do know Regency dresses became Regency style because of interest in it was was the neoclassical movement, so a lot of people were having Grecian parties where people would dress up in costume, and then so that created the style, and then Napoleon convinced his wife to raise her waistline on her dresses so that the skirts would take up a couple of feet more fabric, plus all of those gathers in the Regency dresses, which it doesn't look like they have a lot of fabric, but it's very thin fabric, so there are a good amount of gathers, and that way they could use as much fabric as possible and reinvigorate the French textile market. So if you like me don't feel like you look good in Regency dresses, you have capitalism to thank for that style existing at all. I think that's pretty good. Oh, that whole sleeve got missed. We're getting there. But these grounds are running dry. So unfortunately, I may have to make another pot of coffee today. Pour me, pour me. Pour me another cup. It's kind of fun because it's like scratching itches on your hand that you didn't know were there, which I guess is the exfoliating power of a coffee scrub. Drawback is it's getting all up under my nails, which means they're probably going to be grubby and brown for work on Thursday. I'm going to call this good for now until it dries. I think I'm going to wash my hands and bring my skirt over and apply that waist. I'm going to rinse it first. We'll see what I come back with, but I will come back with something. Okay, I had myself another cup of coffee. I finished the second season of a series of unfortunate events. And I decided I am going to do the waistband on my skirt, which you can see is a right mess, properly filthy with coffee. I left an opening here, which is where the closure is going to be. I don't know how much it's going to overlap. So the waistband, I think I want to do a tie waistband just so it's more adjustable for her. I'm not sure what fabric I want to use for that. I did find another 2 panels of that skirt from before, so I guess I'm going to use that. And I need 32-inch waist plus some length to tie, so probably go for, what's 32 plus 12? It's 44, which I don't know if I have here, but I can do 2-piece. Where's my tape measure? Oh, those constant questions of life. With no tape measure, I at least have a ruler. 18 inches. $36. 36 plus 6 is exactly 42. That's amazing. But I wanted 44. It's close enough because it's a tie. So then I just need to square this up. which is going to be a neat trick because it's a skirt panel, so it tapers. But lucky thing I found a ruler instead of a tape measure. So I'm just gonna roughly draw some lines which aren't showing up at all because I need to use my fabric marker, which I don't have. So I'm just gonna cut along the sides of the ruler and call it good. Once again with my lovely imprecise methods. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but does it really matter? Like I've said, don't do as I do, or as I say, my methods are not good, but they get the job done. One day, maybe I will actually go full out and do everything the proper way for a garment. Today is not that day. Just nice, slow, straight-ish line. Once again, it's bone gnar sewing, so I don't care if it's perfect. Near enough as makes no difference. Speaking of, Game of Thrones is starting up again soon. I am excited, but also not, because the person who really got Jody and I into Game of Thrones is a terrible person. So there's some memories there, but don't let shitty people ruin the things you enjoy. That's the takeaway from that. And that's part of why we're LARPing again, because shitty people kind of ruin that for us too, but fuck them. We're gonna do it anyway. And this is a different crowd who also understands that those shitty people are shitty people, and that we were kind of taken in by them. Like, we should still be held accountable for our actions, but there's a certain level of understanding, because it turns out narcissists are super sneaky. So I've got my center points lined up, and I will be doing gathering at the top here, because this is definitely wider than the 44 inches, all told. I did that the silly way. It's actually a really nice day outside, and I'm probably going to open the windows later because we don't get enough days where it's sunny and fresh air. Yesterday was light, billowy cloak weather. I do on occasion... What? I guess I'm too far back. I do on occasion wear a cloak. There we go. Just because I think that it needs to come back as a fashion. Cloaks are awesome. They make you feel powerful. They don't hinder you as much as a jacket does. Mine has arm slits, so my arms can kind of hang out of it, but it still stays draped over my shoulders. Yeah. Wear more cloaks. Everyone should have a cloak and a tiara. Man or woman, cloaks and tiaras all the way. Wizard princesses for everyone. Someone mentioned last time that my video reminded them that they need to get new sewing shears. I'm curious, was that because mine cut easily or because it looks like I need new ones? Because these are new ones, but they were Guggenheim shears, which is the, like, oh, we're better than Ginger and we'll buy you a pair of Ginger shears if you don't love ours, which is part of why I got these, because, I mean, either way, new sewing scissors. Like, I needed new ones because my shears have been abused. Because I have Ginger shears, and that was my first official pair of sewing scissors, or fabric scissors. But I've hit a pin or two with those. I felt really bad. It's never a good feeling. And I know for Ginger you can send them back in and get them fixed and sharpened, but then I would be without my fabric scissors, which I can't do. Which, now that I have a second pair, I could send those in if I got around to it. So I've got that side gathered and enough left over to tie it. Let me make sure that that's going to be at least 16 inches. Which helps if I measure from the other way. That is 13 inches, so I went too far. Did I miss math? I want to have 6 inches over. Oh, right, so it's only 5 inches overlap. Which right now I have 8. So that explains it. So if I undo that last plate, that's 7, so that should be 6. That takes us to just about 5, which is perfect. I started recording a lot earlier today, which means I'll probably have a few segments done throughout the day. I do need to do some cleanup because we have D&D tonight, wherein I'm playing sort of a cross between Bo from Critical Role and that monk from Inuyasha. So, like, total scammer. Like, oh no, your place has bad energies, let me exorcise those for you. And then one of the other party members helps out with prestidigitation, making sounds and, well, I guess not prestidigitation, but cantrips. Making, like, stuff rattle and candles flicker and all of that nonsense. And I guess now that I have a tripod, I can give you a little tour of my fabric mountain. It's totally in shambles right now. Not proud of it. And I have bags and bags of scraps that I need to get rid of, probably take into a textiles recycler, which I know Buddha fast fashion, but H&M will give you a 15% coupon for bringing in textiles that they then recycle into, I think, swimwear and reusable shopping bags, which that is pretty cool. Of course, you don't have to use the 15% off coupon, but you can know that your fabric scraps are not going to a landfill, especially since I know a lot of my fabric is polyblend of some sort, and that's basically putting plastic into landfills and into the water table and generally not good for anyone. So there's my waistband pinned on. I'm gonna stitch it down. Make sure my tails are even. Yeah, cute little ties at the end. It's gonna be a little bit of a short tie, but it'll work. Like I said, bone and sewing, it's not gonna be precise. So let me get those stitched. I might take another break because I'm taking it easy today, but I will definitely be back. Hey there, it's an entirely new day. I did not get back to this yesterday, but I did wind up recording earlier today. So realized that I didn't need a full hour-long video for you though. So I have 2 videos worth of content this week. I'm going to put the second section up later on, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was productive for you. I want to see what you made. I want to see what you want me to talk about next time. Let me know and make beautiful things.